Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. If you guys have been following my channel for a while now, you will know that we love testing new gadgets, especially when they are broken. And there did used to be a time where brawlers did not have gadgets about a year and a half ago. Since then, every brawler has got at least one gadget. Most of them have two new gadgets, which means there's been almost 100 new gadgets released into the game. So today we'll be taking a look at the 10 most broken when released. Obviously, they needed nerfs because they were pretty crazy. So, of course, before we jump into it, definitely let me know down below what you think the 3 most broken gadgets of all time were. And, of course, make sure you're subscribed if you are not already, because 64% of you guys are not subscribed. And if you're picking anything up in the shop, make sure you're using code TOM. Let's get into the video, starting off with number 10. Okay, so starting off at number 10, we have the second nanny gadget return to sender, which was absolutely insane. It basically returned 80% of the damage that your enemies dealt to you and returned it to them. So this actually hasn't been nerfed, but it was so fun on that first day, because do you guys remember when it was showdown, it was just bees and they had no idea. So they would literally get their 3k shot, get their big shot, and they would shoot it. I would just pop the gadget and it would literally return like over 3,000 damage to them. It was absolutely crazy. We got some crazy clutches with this gadget, and it's always fun trying out these gadgets on the first day, because honestly most people don't even realize they're in the game, so you could just destroy them with it. We had a ton of fun with this one. Okay, next up then at number 9, we have Tara's second gadget, support from beyond. So this one basically spawned 3 little pets. It actually hasn't got nerfed, so it is still very strong. But in particular, the reason it was so strong, in the video we tried it, is because we were trying it in showdown. It was like 90% bees, and yeah, you can imagine this gadget really hard counters bees. The bees didn't even know it was in the game. They were teaming. We were absolutely destroying them. We had so much fun in this video, because yeah, as I said, we were literally just destroying these bees, and we got so many dubs being the teamers. You love to see it. Okay, at number 8, we have the first ever crow gadget that was released into the game. So this one essentially gives you a 40% shield now, but it used to be, when it was first released, it used to be a 60% shield from any damage for 3 seconds. Now this was completely broken. I could only find one video on my channel where I did cover this. I can't believe I didn't cover these gadgets more, because they were so broken, especially this crow one giving you 60% shield. Crow was like meta for, I believe it was a couple days before it did get nerfed down to 40%, but yeah, crow was meta on true range maps like Super Stadium, and it was just so OP absolutely everywhere, because you could just run into people, pop that gadget, they couldn't kill you, and you could get the kills, you could get dubs. And yeah, this crow gadget was so OP, and it definitely deserves to be on this list. Okay, at number 7 then, we have Karl's second gadget, flying hook, which basically means that you can travel from one end of your hook to kind of the other. So when this was released, it was absolutely broken. It made Karl, I think, the best brawler in the game for a while, and it was so good before it got nerfed. I believe the nerf that was done was actually to shorten the range of Karl's pickaxe. So it didn't just nerf the gadget, but it actually nerfed Karl. I think that was a nerf, but honestly it's hard to remember these nerfs, because some of this was over a year ago. This Karl one wasn't, obviously, but anyway, it was so broken. We had so much fun in it with showdown. I just remember Karl being so meta in siege, being able to get that first ball, and honestly it was meta absolutely everywhere, because you could just use that gadget, get up the map, and you just had a ton of pressure. Karl was the best brawler in the game when this gadget was released. Okay, at number 6, we have Mr. P's second gadget, porter reinforcements. This one essentially meant that you could pop the gadget, you could shoot, and at the end of your shot there would be a porter, which was actually basically had the same HP, the same damage as a normal porter from your super. Obviously that did have to get nerfed to the point where it's kind of it's a very weak porter now. It does less damage, I think, and also has less HP, but basically you could like shoot, and you could get this porter at the end of your shot. It was so good, not only because it was just, you know, it was annoying, but also it really helped you get that first super with Mr. P, which is super important, and this definitely made Mr. P one of the best brawlers in the game when this gadget was released. I remember there was no Gene because it was just all Mr. P, and yeah, this is one of the only times I remember Mr. P being super OP, apart from obviously when he was released, because Mr. P was an absolute menace when he was released. But yeah, this gadget was definitely super OP. Okay, so at number 5, we have Gale's burst gadget, spring ejector, which basically let you put a jump pad down, which was actually a normal jump pad when it was released. They had to nerf it to be kind of a weakened jump pad, because this jump pad could get you from one side of the map. Pretty much, it covered half the map pretty much. So you put it in your spawn, you were in the middle of the map. It was that good. It made, like, Gale was pretty much the best brawler in the game, right? Because you could literally put your jump pad down in Siege. You could get to the mid so quickly. You could also do it in Heist as well, to just jump over walls, get to the enemy safe. And honestly, it meant that it was kind of, I don't know, you could just put it down, and it meant games were like pretty messy, because from spawn you could just respawn and get back into the action within a couple of seconds. So this gadget definitely deserves to be on this list. It got an emergency nerf, and Gale was so much fun and so broken when this gadget was first released. Okay, at number 4 we have Bo's Tripwire gadget. So this was actually his second gadget, and I think this is one that people just don't remember. I feel like this is one where people do not remember how good this gadget was. So essentially, you could yeet your mines on somebody, which obviously your mines being your super, and you could activate that gadget straight away. It would detonate your mines instantly, so it was perfect using that stun star power. Now that Tripwire gadget has a 1.5 second delay, so you could just imagine if you could yeet those mines at somebody, essentially just nuke them by instantly pressing your gadget. It was so broken. Bo became complete meta, because these mines basically got to kill every single time with the gadget and the correct star power. It was so broken. I remember Bo being so meta when this second gadget was introduced, but I don't think people remember this, so honestly, it's a good one to take a look back at, because this gadget was insane. Okay, so getting into my top 3 most broken gadgets of all time. So these ones are actually all in the same meta, so you can imagine how messy this kind of meta was. It was actually known as a gadget meta, because every single brawler that was broken in this meta was because of the gadget, and these was some of the most broken gadgets ever released in Brawl Stars, and it was all at the same time, so it was so funny, honestly. At number 3 then we have Colt. So Colt had basically his second gadget release called Silver Bullet. It did as much damage as an entire clip with Colt, which is 6 shots of 500 damage, which I'll do the math for you guys. That was 3,000 damage for hitting somebody with your Silver Bullet. So not only did it break walls, but it also did, I think that's 3 times the amount of damage that it does right now. So yeah, you can imagine how broken this was when it was released. It did 3,000 damage, and you could just go up to people and just auto-aim it through a wall. It was so broken. Colt was definitely so OP, but he wasn't the best brawler in this meta, sorry, just because, you know, there was some other better gadgets. Anyway, let's get into the top 2 gadgets ever released in Brawl Stars. Okay, so at number 2 we have B's Rattled Hive, a gadget which essentially was so broken. It needed like 3 different nerfs, I think, to actually nerf it. So first of all, it would actually it could basically hit multiple people multiple times. So I think it could hit every single person on the map essentially 3 times once you activated it. Obviously, it had a huge damage nerf. They also nerfed basically that, well, like once you hit one person with kind of one of the Bs, the B would go away basically, and you couldn't continue to hit people. But yeah, you used to be able to literally hit, say if you're playing a 3v3 match, you could hit like a total of 9 of those Bs in one gadget, and basically it was nicknamed a gadget which could, like, you're playing mid, it could win every single lane. So you popped it once, it could literally win all 3 lanes with one gadget. That's how broken it was. It had a damage nerf, it had that nerf, and I think it probably had maybe a speed nerf as well, because it tends to go a lot slower now. But yeah, this gadget was so broken. We had a ton of fun using this, and B and Colt were 2 of the brawlers in this meta. Let's find out what the most broken gadget of all time was. I think you guys already know. Okay guys, at number 1, of course, that leaves us with Brock's rocket fuel gadget. This gadget was so broken that even Chief Pat could hit his rockets with Brock. So basically this gadget did twice as much damage as a normal shot, so it gave you a 100% boost to damage of that normal shot, which I believe was around 3,000 to 3,200 damage, somewhere in that range. Also, people don't remember that the explosion kind of area, the area which it would actually hit people, used to be a lot larger than it is now. They actually nerfed that, so it's a little bit harder now as you use the second Brock gadget to kind of hit as it was when it was released, because it was so easy to hit. Also, the damage now is only a 50% boost to that normal shot, where, as I said, in the past it was 100% boost, so it would deal double basically the amount of damage that a normal rocket did, which, as I said, I think it was around 3,200, somewhere in that range. But it was so so broken. So in this meta, it was essentially a Brock Colt B meta, and I think Karl's gadget at the same time was actually there. So maybe Karl wouldn't have been the best brawler in that meta because these gadgets were so OP. It was a gadget meta, as I said. All these brawlers were completely broken because of these gadgets. But yeah, as you guys know, we nicknamed this rocket the Fat Rocket because it was so easy to hit. It did so much damage, and yeah, we had so much fun playing this gadget because let's be honest, this Brock gadget was incredibly broken when it was released. Okay guys, that is gonna wrap it up for the video. Let me know if I missed any gadgets down below. As I said, this was like basically a year and a half ago to today, so I definitely missed some gadgets. Let me know what gadgets I missed, and definitely leave a like on the video if you want to see more videos like these, looking back on the past of broken stuff inside of the game. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.